Cheers, buddy.
Cheers, pal.
Oh man, that's delicious.
Hey, that's really good.
That is delicious, dude.
That is really, really good.
It really is somewhere between a pale ale and a torpedo.
Yeah.
It's somewhere in that. Welcome back, everyone, to another exciting edition of the Sunday Sips podcast on the Tales, Ales, and Trails channel. I'm your boy Kyle. That's your other boy Nick in the flesh. If you notice, we're in the garage because my boy Nick, this is his house. He bought new patio furniture, but they're doing renovations, or at least will be soon. So this will be eventually outside. Doesn't mean you're not going to see us in future episodes by the fire pit, but it's kind of like a nice afternoon, so we raised the garage door.
Yeah.
We're in here.
Yeah, we're out here in what we would call the Scooby Snack studio for the time being.
So leading into that, if you haven't watched Scooby Snacks, it's our new leg of our channel,
New leg of the
right?
channel. We're a tiny podcast platform at this point.
A reground leg, though.
The 100%. The flagship is Tales, Ales, and Trails, where we get to talk to guests every single week, from people in the brewery industry to distilleries, cider houses, the outdoor space.
Yes,
That's really awesome interviews in the outdoor space, but tons more to come. It's really kind of sharing the story behind some of these really inspiring organizations and individuals.
Right.
We've also got what we're doing right now, Sunday Sips,
Somebody said.
where it all started. We're going to keep doing that. It's something that we absolutely love to do. Talk about beer, review beer, get to drink, hang out, chill. And then this new element is Scooby Snacks. And if you're a longtime follower, you know that Scooby Snacks back in 2020 was a thing. We've kind of revamped it. It's become less about telling crazy stories from college and stuff like that, and more about really just sharing a quick snapshot of me and producer Brittany's lives, and talking about some of the really, really incredible experiences we've had, from everything from honeymooning in Italy to, riding horseback in Montana for our good friend Heather's birthday, to, spending time in Maui with our families, to even more recently being in Belize for an entire week and kind of getting to consume that culture. We've gotten the opportunity to do a lot of really, really cool things, and it felt appropriate and kind of the best extension of where we wanted to go with the platform was to have a segment where we talked about some cool stuff that we've gotten to do in the outdoors. Not everything is outdoor specific, but a lot of it is based in enjoying what the outdoors has to offer. So I felt like that really fit with what Tales, Ales, and Trails is all about.
It's also a snapshot into your life specifically.
Just me and her, for sure.
A little more content. Not to say they won't have guests. I will probably.
I'm sure you'll pop up here and there.
Yeah, a couple. Yeah. Just because I spend so many times with these guys. Like, this is also something I want to bring up. For a long time we've done the non-local local brew, format of going back and forth
Every other week. Yep.
Nick and I talked about it, sat down, talked about it, and we talked about how it really limits us, as opposed to what comes out of the beer fridge, what really more so goes into the beer fridge, because we're always, around, we're always grabbing new stuff from a lot of non-local places, but also sometimes we're here and we grab a lot of local stuff in one time.
Yeah.
We don't want to limit ourselves. So we're probably going to we are dropping that format.
Yep.
But we will still cover non-local beers and local beers, but we won't hold ourselves to that back and forth kind of process.
Yeah, I think local beers will have a very special place in Sunday Sips.
Yeah.
We have our, a ton of great breweries locally. I mean, it starts with Sierra Nevada, which is hard to call local at this point, but you have Ramble West, you've got Paradise Brewworks, you got places like Lassen's Cider, you've got Allies Pub, which makes their own beer. Like, you got a ton of really great establishments. Farmers Brewing, of course.
Yeah. We also have a little outside of our jurisdiction. But
places like Fall River Brewing up in Redding and stuff like that.
Sacramento Brews and everything like that.
And
dude,
I think there's a place for all of it, right? But we wanted to switch to a format or a structure even that allows us, if we find a new beer that we really want to try in the podcast that week, we can do it. Instead of being like, all right, we have to do a local this week, we have to do a non-local that week. we wanted to, have some flexibility in the kind of beers, the kind of stuff we put on this podcast. So we're moving forward with that. That being said, this week
we
it's
got
a local.
We got a local. It is from the North Star, our North Star, Sierra Nevada. If you go into the tap room, they have it on tap. I do believe they have it in cans.
They
Obviously,
got it in cans. They got it locally, at least. I don't know
Right.
what the distribution's like outside of Chico right now. This might be one of those things. They've been known to kind of trial run beers
Sure.
locally and
Yeah.
see what the reception's
Especially-
like before
especially
they
the tap room. Yeah,
before they decide if they want to go a larger release with this.
Mhm.
But I was super excited about this. I picked this up. We were at the gift shop messing around like we always do. And my wife said, "Hey, what does that look like?" And then just looking over at first glance, like, "Oh, it's a green can. That's pale ale."
yeah.
She goes, no, it looks like they have a new can design or something. And then I looked at it and I was like, "Oh, that's not pale
It's not
ale
pale
at
ale.
all."
Yeah.
And what it is India Pale Ale.
Yes, sir.
And I was kind of stoked about this because, it's, I think that's exactly the reaction they were hoping for,
Right.
which was when you look at it, you think pale ale, but it's
A little
not
novelty.
pale ale.
A little,
Yes. And pale ale usually comes in around a 5.6
I was going to say
ABV, I think.
around that. Yeah,
I think.
5.
And this one's a little bit more. It's at 6.9.
Flam.
And it's an India Pale Ale. Like that is, it's spelling it out for you. And the best way it was described to me is it's a pale ale before it gets torpedoed,
Wow. Okay.
which is kind of fun.
That's cool.
So I'm excited about it. I've had a few of these already. I can speak from experience that they're pretty darn good, but I think we should crack it and go for it.
Get into it. Maybe 3, 2, 1.
1.
Ooh, yeah. So yeah, actually, I had one of these behind the curtain a little earlier today.
Sure.
For the first time.
That was a rough pour.
So I had one of these for the first time a little earlier today. Kind of was in a rush, didn't really suss it out. So this will be my platform to actually
To really give it a good.
give it a good go.
Yeah, I don't see any IBU statistics on here. It's not online yet. I think that's probably intentional
Yeah.
that
yeah.
they're, trying to keep a lid on this a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm excited about it. Like, I just think it's a really fun addition to their lineup.
Yeah.
I don't know if this will be sticking around for long, but it's cool.
A little behind the curtain before the episode starts, we start recording. I usually do a little background info and everything. Couldn't find anything about this, even though it is a recent release.
Yep.
But I think what Nick said is true. It's kind of like a dry run in local market.
Yeah.
Before they decide to, go.
And
out
I
with
think
it.
I think they have the luxury of doing that. And I think, I've talked about this with other folks. I think Chico is such a special place when it comes to craft beer because of Sierra Nevada. Sierra Nevada has turned generations of people into craft beer lovers.
Yes.
Like they have shaped how this community feels about craft beer.
Not just the community, they shape the market.
100%.
Yeah.
But this community in general, because you look at what we're able to sustain from a craft beer standpoint.
No, for sure.
There's places like Tracy that have this roughly the same amount of people that can barely handle one craft brewer.
Right.
I think they've got technically 2.
Sure.
And we've got anywhere from 5 to 6 plus your last Insider House.
Yeah,
plus your other.
that 2 is really shaky.
Yeah.
And Tracy.
But it's like people love craft beer here, and that's directly because of Sierra Nevada. So it's the perfect market for them to test new stuff and say, will this work with the masses? If it's widely adopted, if it's loved by the people here,
Yeah.
then they can put it out and say, not everybody's going to love it.
It's a good test market.
But people who like our stuff will definitely like it.
It's a great test market because of the culture. It is.
Yeah.
And it's a culture that they built.
100%.
Yeah. I love that. It smells like a heavier or pale ale.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Which is probably indicative of what it is.
You want to give it a taste?
Yeah. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers, pal.
Oh man. That's delicious.
Hey, that's really good.
That is delicious, dude.
That is really, really good.
It really is somewhere between a pale ale and a torpedo.
Yep.
It's somewhere in that range, but the flavor, I think the alcohol feel is somewhere in that range, and the flavor is like all over the place,
Yeah, 100%.
but in a good way. It's very
Yeah.
piney.
Yeah.
It's very true to that IPA, almost like heavy barky feel.
I mean, it really feels like what I said the description of one of their employees was before this, which is a pale ale before it hits the torpedo. It's a pale ale with a little bit more kick to it. It's got a little more ABV
Yeah.
to play around with, and we are getting bit up by mosquitoes out here.
It's the price we pay.
Yeah.
You know,
100%.
mosquitoes we got the garage door up.
It is what it is.
Beautiful day.
Yeah.
But yeah, the flavor is very reminiscent of that pale ale, but it does have that like bite of a torpedo.
A little bit more higher ABV selection for sure.
Yeah.
I think we should take a moment as we're kind of settling in on this
Do
to do some plugs. With this coming out right now, our podcast with the Pod on the Run guys will have just come out. Ross and Peter. It was a really fun idea. Like, it was bringing together two local podcasts. They're a lot more running focused. I think they're running dominant, is because the two of them are big runners. They're really involved in the running scene in Chico, which is really vibrant and thriving. And, you know, our shtick is a lot more beer centric, craft alcohol centric, but we get some mountain biking in there. We get, you know, some running, a little bit more hiking than running.
Sure.
And
but active
for sure. And the idea before this podcast and how we kind of framed it was a little bit different than our usual setup. We usually have 3 cameras, some microphones, all that stuff.
This was on the go.
We still have the microphones, but we went on the go.
That's right.
We decided we're going to take a hike in Upper Bidwell Park and really just have a conversation.
Beautiful.
They asked me about craft beer and about kind of our interest in it and mountain biking. I got to pick their brains about running, about the culture and community that surround running in Chico. And it turned out to be a really, really fascinating conversation.
Cool.
By the time this drops, people will have already seen it. I hope they're enjoying it. I think they will. There's such a big running scene in Chico.
Yeah.
That I'm looking forward to kind of engaging with those folks. So I'm really, really pumped about that. I do want to say that the week before the Pod on the Run podcast came out, our episode with Burnt Barn Distilling came out. Melissa Schuster, owner of Burnt Barn. It was a really, really awesome conversation about craft spirits and how that kind of came into the fold for them. They didn't really have a huge background in spirits. No. It was something that their son was passionate about, and they kind of just ran with it and created this really, really awesome distillery. And the other thing that I think is as prominent as the spirits is the idea of community, the idea of building something in paradise after the campfire that would hopefully bring people to paradise. And drive, you know, local engagement and things like that. And I really, really resonate with that. I think Melissa truly cares about that community.
She really is a steward of the community.
For sure.
Yeah.
She's been there for over 2 decades.
Yeah.
She absolutely loves it. And you can tell by talking to her that she is invested in A, making great spirits, but B, being a great, great steward for her.
It's just as important.
Yeah. They've got a bourbon coming out in June.
Yeah.
We got to taste their gin,
vodka.
We got to taste the rum.
2 rums. They have
2 gins, 1 rum.
2 gins, yeah.
2 gins, 1 rum.
That's right.
And they've got the bourbon that they've been sitting on that we got to taste when we were there.
Not quite aged as well as they want it, but we got a little
an early look.
Yeah.
And it was good. Absolutely delicious. And I can't wait for people to be able to check it out.
Is that just in June?
Yeah. It's going to be, you know, coming out in June. I'm sure we'll be doing a little bit more about that before it comes out
there for sure.
But that's what we've got cooking on the Tales, Ales, and Trails side of things. Really exciting stuff. We've got a ton, like
so many.
We are booked. You don't know this, but we're booked,
I know that.
We're booked almost to August.
I know that
right now.
Yeah.
And which is nuts.
Yeah.
We have so many great episodes coming out. So many great people that we're going to be able to talk to. Some really big ones that I don't think you guys are even close to like get.
You're not ready. I wasn't ready.
Yeah.
A couple of shots in the dark as far as do you guys want to do this with us?
Just pitching it, and the response has been tremendous.
It really goes to show that if you just ask, you know.
I think the through line is that there's so many great stories out there waiting to be told
That's true.
that just aren't being told.
Yeah.
So regardless of how admittedly small that we are right now, which we are, we're doing some great stuff. We're having some really great traction.
Right.
But we're still very small.
Mm.
But even with that into consideration, there are stories to be told. Really, really impactful, meaningful stories.
Right.
And someone's got to tell them. And it turns out that that's us.
Yeah.
So I'm really, really excited for what you guys are going to see coming up.
I'm stoked.
Let's get the ranking
Get the rating?
because these mosquitoes are eating me alive.
You want me to go first? You
I'll go first on this.
All right.
I feel good about going first.
take care of it.
I really like this beer. I think it's a really good. You know what I think about. It's technically two different styles of beer. The pale ale versus the India pale ale are technically two different styles.
Right.
And when you look at somebody like Farmers, which does the Valle, and then they do the Valle Loco,
Right.
which is a more intense version
Yes.
of the Valle.
I like where you're going with.
And the flavor profiles are similar. It's a similar taste with a little bit more punch to it.
A little more kick.
And pale ale is probably the most iconic pale ale in the entire
Similar.
country.
It's very similar.
And there's a lot of similarities between that and this beer.
Yeah.
With just a little bit more ABV. So for me, because it is an extension of one of the best beers ever made, 8.75.
Yeah. I mean, listen, that's high.
It's high, but I think it's just.
I think it is justified. I would go just because, dude, we have not done pale ale on this podcast.
That is true.
We will.
That would be fun if we can do maybe a comparison. Since we're playing with formats a little bit, it could be cool to do a comparison between pale ale and India pale ale.
But just because of that, like, I mean, it really is like the middle ground between the torpedo and the pale ale as far as strength.
100%.
But the flavor totally is pale ale, just a little amped up, just a little turned up.
Yeah.
Whereas torpedo is very, very bitter. The flavor is knocked to I would say one side.
Yeah.
That being said, I'm probably gonna go, and I like pale ale a lot. I'm probably gonna go 7.25 on this.
Wow.
I don't think 7.5.
Wow. It's a pretty big discrepancy
It's a
between
pretty
me and you.
big discrepancy, but it's because if I'm gonna drink something like this in the middle, as far as my mind is going, my Neanderthal brain,
Sure.
I'd rather have a torpedo.
Sure.
Does that make sense?
I get it.
Like,
I get it.
personally.
That if you're going to have this much punch, you might as well go up to the torpedo side of
Right,
things.
right. If I'm gonna get a little knocked from it,
Right.
I'd rather have a knocking beer.
Right.
You know?
Right.
That being said, it's not bad.
No.
It's just for the ABV, it's a little dulled down.
Yeah.
In my mind. Does it have a place? Yes, it does. It
100%.
has a place in
100%.
the middle realm where people like to, have a couple of these and like get pretty buzzed.
Yeah.
But have that same flavor profile.
Right.
But I traditionally would rather have a torpedo.
Okay.
Or at least draw the line more between pale ale and torpedo.
I got you.
It's not bad. Again, 7.25, pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't mind it at all. I like it.
I say all in all, a really, really good beer.
Yeah.
If
if you were to hand me camping, right? If you were to be like pale ale or an India pale ale, I wouldn't really know where to go.
I will tell you, I don't have a pale ale in the fridge right now, but I bought a 12 pack of these.
Yeah.
Maybe 2 6-packs, and they've gone quick.
Yeah.
Like I've been gravitating towards grabbing them when I go to the fridge for something.
Very simple. Very
Yeah.
simple.
Simple, but I mean, like, It's a really, really good beer at the
Yeah.
end of the day.
It is a little bitter. Again, if you don't like pale ales, you're not gonna like this. But like if you don't like torpedoes, you're really not gonna like this.
Right.
It is that just bitter classic pale ale taste.
Yeah.
Very piney. Kind of too notey, like a little bit of fruit, but not too much, but very, very more piney IPA flavor. But if you do like that, it's right up your alley. It is quintessential when we go to that flavor profile.
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, 725 still not a bad beer. Still really good beer.
Yeah.
Won't be bad.
Cheers, pal. Oh, you hadn't had much of that at all.
But that being said, it's right on the line of being chuggable. Yeah, it really is.
Sure.
It kind of is, but if you have any more than what I just chugged, probably not.
Yeah.
But yeah, don't forget, would you rate
8.75. 8.75 is what I gave it.
Jeez.
I think it's a really, really good beer.
875, 725. Not to knock it, not to talk any smack. But yeah, give us a like, give us a comment down what you think the India Pale Ale is. Personally, what we should try next at Sierra Nevada or any other brewery you prefer. Don't forget, hit that bell so you know what we're up to, whatever we release. Nick has been on the ball as far as releasing stuff. We got
three long form episodes every single week. We're a podcast network, so technically we've got 3 different podcasts releasing episodes every single week. Tales, Ales, and Trails on Wednesdays, Scooby Snacks on Fridays, Sunday Sips on Sundays. Excuse me. So you're not going to want to miss those. It's a really great combination of beer talk, of inspirational people, and of, getting to experience a lot of the great outdoors that this world has to offer. So it's awesome. We've got new content, new short form content coming out every single day. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, multiple times a day. You don't want to miss it. You want to check it out. We've got a lot of really, really awesome stuff happening.
Yeah.
So,
like I said, hit that bell so you're informed every time we come out with new stuff. Follow us on Instagram, follow us on Facebook, follow us on X, follow us on YouTube. We got the long form stuff on YouTube, and we got shorts coming out all the time on the other platforms. And yeah, go leave a comment again what you guys want us to try next. That has to do with a lot of the back and forth between local and non-local. We want to try beers that you guys want us to try.
Yep.
So leave a comment down below. Don't forget, you crack one for us, we'll crack one for you.
cheers.
Take care.